Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're talking about the Geron Corporation GERN summary for the 27th of March 2023, in which we're going to be looking at the bearish and the bullish parts of the company and looking at the quarterly report. So I generally follow small cap stocks, maybe a little bit larger in this case. I do games, I do kind of whatever I feel like. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I currently do not own any stock in the company, but we'll be looking to invest some in the near future. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be about followed up by your own due diligence, and any information given is valid for today, the 27th of March, and the slideshow will not be updated. But as always, as I get new news, new slideshow. So the investment thesis for this company is I believe it's a medium risk, medium reward type of company. The company has enough money to make it through 2025, which will allow them about either half to a year and a half of sales of imetelstat for low MDS. The company's also going to a part where there is enough of a market for imetelstat for low MDS, and they're also going to get data for the relapsed refractory MF, and that's going to be 2024, 2025. So I believe if the company hits its low sales guidance, it is going to be very close to a break-even company, which at the moment I think will evaluates the billion-dollar market cap. So the patient size and options. So low MDS, as you put there, and relapsed refractory MF are both cancers that affect the blood. Both have limited treatment options, as first-line treatments either stop working or discontinued. Both have very wide sales ranges, and so both pretty much for MDS and MF have about 200 million as a range to either 1.2 billion or 1.8, depending on which one it is. So if the company can get both approved and marketed correctly, sales can go between 400 million and 3 billion. Now, looking at that and the company, I believe we are already priced into the low range of sales. I think if the company can hit its 200 million sales goal for just low MDS, I think we're already pretty much where we're supposed to be market cap wise. So again, that's why I kind of put this as really not a huge amount of risk. The risk kind of goes with other stuff. So the cash. So at the end of the fourth quarter 2022, the company had 173 million in cash. The company raised 213 million in January of 2023 and also 60 million more from warrants. So the total cash I'm estimating to be about 446 million. I have provided math. The net loss for the fourth quarter of 2022 was about 42.6 million. The company expects to spend about 210 to 220 in 2023. Obviously, a lot of that is as one trial has gone away, they're going to be starting to staff up for commercialization. The company has stated as cash until and through some of 2025. I think when sales get there, you're pretty much going to be going through 2025 without any issues. So what's the plan going forward? So mid-2023, the NDA for imetelstat for low MDS. So they do expect commercialization launch in the first half of 2024. And in the second half of 2023 for their MMA, which is the market authorization in Europe, with looking at the commercial launch towards the end of 2024. And then we'll get interim and final analysis for the drug for the relapsed refractory MF in 2024, 2025. So at the moment, I'm looking at a 2026 possible launch date for that. So a couple things going on in the next year. Looking at the data for it, this is the data that was provided. Pretty much you see a lot of colors. What we're going to say is the drug works. So you see that when you see a blue line, that means that they are not having to undergo any treatment that is greater than 8 weeks. And so you can kind of see there's a lot of people who respond very well to the drug. So they are definitely using that. So really the summary, so as the current stock price, I believe the low range of sales is already priced in. Like I said, if they can get 200 million in sales, the company's going to spend about 200 million in what they're doing, which pretty much makes it a break-even company with another drug coming behind it. Well, I guess another drug for a different indication. So pretty much as I believe the company will be cash neutral with one approval, and I'm looking at Catalyst Pharmaceuticals as a good example, as they have about 200 million of sales and are currently around this time about a 1.6. I know it fluctuates a lot. It might be a little bit lower. $1.6 billion market cap. The larger worry, of course, and really what is going to be the bigger wrench in the thing would be a delay that could lead to more dilution or a slower start to sales, which also could lead to more dilution. Those are probably the two big things that could trip us up the most. I don't believe we're going to have, I think approval will happen. It's just going to be when. However, looking at that, if you have the time and the money for Geron, I think it's going to be a good long-term investment, and it's not something that I need to invest in today or tomorrow. It's something that you can kind of plan on, which is why I'm going to be looking to start adding some leading up to the NDA submission, which should be somewhere in the second quarter, third quarter of this year, where I'm going to start to add some. And that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, if you look back at the numbers and you look back what they want to try to do, it makes sense. Now, as far as the reward goes, the company's already a, billion-dollar company. So, of course, we really need to beat those sales to become a bigger company. So I think for the next year, it's going to be I think we're going to go between 2 and 3, maybe 2 and 4 if we're lucky, but not much higher. So that's why I said I'm not putting a huge amount of reward in there at the moment. But of course, if they can hit that $3 billion sales mark, I mean, we're in great shape for that. So thank you guys very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.